because that's really what we need to be doing, is the applause doesn't necessarily go to the speakers, it goes to you all, right? Because you guys are the ones that are really, you're building what's called that ROI, right? Everyone talks about the ROI, return on investment. How about return on innovation, right? That's what we mean by ROI in this type of room, right? So my name is Dr. Summer Knight, and as was just explained, I am here from Cigna and here to help. And I'm a I'm a national medical executive and have a real focus on innovation. But I wear another hat as well, and that is as a serial entrepreneur. So when I came into this room and I started doing the one-on-ones, I've had some great one-on-ones today with some just dynamic, amazing folks. Love you, Krista, wherever you are. Already matchmaking. And just amazing. But when the New York Stock Exchange and Startup America and entrepreneur organizations said, hey, why don't you come over here to Seattle and speak, I was so floored and excited. And I was thinking, you know, it's so exciting when we really start to think about what's important in your lives, right? Because the health and wellness of your organization is based on your personal health and wellness and that of your team. And so when we talk about that, though, you know, companies usually talk about that physical health. And I think it's now time for us to all start to think about expanding that. So it's not just physical, it's the mental health, your emotional health, your financial health, cha-ching, and also a little bit of that spiritual health, right? Because a lot of you, I know, at the end of the day are going, oh God, let me make it through the next day, right? So the spiritual health as well. And so what we realized is that I was taking a look at the New York Stock Exchange Neuronext CEO report that they'd shared with us, and just seeing that small businesses aren't that excited about the current economic state. I had to read a report to figure that one out, right? I think most of you guys knew that. But what was kind of sad is that the 2013 wasn't as exciting. And so I was reading through the stats, and they said that 80% of small businesses don't have access to capital that they need right now. And that 3/4 of you are saying that you're not going to be adding new jobs. And some of you are actually thinking about cutting jobs, which is really concerning, right? Because it doesn't take a rocket scientist to realize that all of new net jobs that have been created in the past 3 decades have come from young companies under 10 years old. And so if you all in this room aren't creating the next jobs, we're going to have a difficult time. So Startup America got together and they said, you know what? We need to figure out ways to really celebrate entrepreneurism, to develop ecosystems where we're not having to slog through the pits and try and, you know, get resources. We need partners to bring these resources to us. And I completely agree. So what we've done is we've said, hey, how can we help? And so Startup America has allowed us to join with them, and we're going to be doing 3 different things. One thing is that recognize, I've been over at Cigna for about a year, and there's a tremendous amount of data that we have available to us and knowledge. And so we talked about really sharing that with you as the entrepreneur so that you can have data to really build your organizations. So whether that's getting information about how healthcare reform is going to affect your business, or how to develop a culture of health and wellness to attract new talent. So that's one of the ways. The second way is that there's a lot of products that I as an entrepreneur didn't know was available to me. It just wasn't available because we're young companies, we're agile, we're moving quickly. And so we're taking a look at those products and kind of figuring out how we can mesh them so that we're meeting your needs. And so we'd really like to have that dialogue. And actually, there's some folks from Cigna here out in the hallway, and would love to talk with you and understand your needs so that then we can reframe those to better meet your needs. You know, how can we make solutions that are affordable? How can we make solutions that help you to attract the talent that you're looking for? So one of my biggest passions is in helping people find their heroism in companies by becoming innovative leaders in the organization. And so one of the things that we realized at Cigna is this is a 200-year-old company, insurance company, kind of stodgy. And I love when I had a meeting and Russell said to me, yeah, I'm pointing you out, said, what'd you do, sell out? You're working for a large Fortune 200 company as an entrepreneur? And I just kind of had to push back, and I said, I guess, let's talk about that. But here's what happened. There's a new sheriff in town, and that's called CustomerCentricity in our organization. And in being customer-centric, which seems like, some of you guys are going like, yeah, customer-centricity, that's what we do. But in actuality, in this big industry, we weren't always thinking about, hey, can I have a personal relationship with you? And by the way, with you, and with all million of you? And so that's actually one of the things that we're trying to do in order to promote health and wellness in the organization. And so we really looked internally and we said, well, how can we do that inside? So we're looking at our processes, we're looking to see how to do that. And all of a sudden we started saying, you know what? There's this legions of innovative thinkers out there, innovative thinkers who could potentially partner with us, but they're folks that we haven't been tapping in the past. And so we're actually saying now as number 3 is that we'd like to swing open the door. I remember I developed a company, it was a health IT company, and I could never get through the door. And I had this amazing solution to really cut Medicaid budgets in half. And we could not get in the door with the right person. We had to either pay, have you ever had to pay lobbyists? $5,000, $10,000, or have to pay business brokers to help you get through the door. Well, that's ridiculous. If you've got a great idea, you should be able to come through the door. So we're throwing open the entrepreneur door. And we're going to we're developing meetups. And some of you have already taken advantage of that this morning, and I'd like you to take more advantage of that. So let me end by just sharing with you is that one of the things that we realized is that if you want to move swiftly as an entrepreneur, right, move alone. Don't wait for anyone. But if you want to move far, move together. And it's time for us as a large companies and us as smaller, high-growth, nimble, amazing entrepreneurial companies to start to figure out ways that we can work together so that we can really make huge transitions, not just in the health and wellness industry, but in all the industries. So we're going to be inviting you, and please, would you invite us, invite me, so that we can really make huge shifts in the industry. So we're going to do office hours. Come meet our folks out at the booth. We're not here to sell, by the way, so please don't think you're going to be buying any insurance from us. We're here to meet with you. And with that, I'd like to go ahead and introduce Jeff Resnick, and thank you so much.